Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I am sorry I haven't been uploading anything for like months now, but well, I don't have any I don't have any excuses besides that um like I've been procrastinating a lot when I had to edit my videos. And the reason why is just because it always, well, first of all, I'm really not good at it, and then it just takes hours to edit because I make so many mistakes or there are so many awkward moments, and I want, I always want the videos to be like as smooth as possible and like pleasant for you to watch. But I think like what I'm going to do from now on, I'm going to try to like just try to be myself as much as possible, and even if there are some awkward moments, I will just try to leave them and have like as if I had a normal conversation with you guys. So to avoid this editing part that is dreadful to me. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me again. I saw that I reached more than 100 subscribers while I was kind of away. So thank you so much for that, because I just I don't feel I deserve that. But anyways, I'm back today to show you one junk journal that I finished yesterday. I bound it yesterday actually, and this one is huge. And I love it so much. I was so excited to finally make some flip through. It is very not like what I usually do, because I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I mostly do like cahier sized junk journals and like all TN insert sizes. But I do also love to make bigger journals like this one, for example. But the only problem when I put them for sale is that, well, the shipping price is, well, it's awful. It's just super expensive, and I want to avoid this as much as possible. But at the same time, it is so much fun to like have this huge thing in hands. It really feels good, and it's really satisfying to look at the side and see all the things popping out. But yeah, so I'm going to I think it's going to be a long video, so please bear with me, and I will just make a flip through of this one, and I will have this one for sale on my Instagram shop this coming Friday. So hopefully I will upload this video before Friday. And if I don't sell it on Instagram, I will then put it on my Etsy shop if anyone is interested to, have a look. And I will be doing a flip through about 2 other journals that I made. I just need to bind them. I mean, and yeah, I will show you that later on. But for today, so we have this thing, and it measures. So I do measure in centimeters. I don't know if I think I said that once in my previous videos. It measures 14.5 centimeters by 24. So it's it's a pretty long journal, and I always like to keep them kind of not short, like wait Sorry, I like, okay, this I'm gonna edit out, I believe, but slim, that's the word I was looking for. So I like them to be quite slim, but it can be as wide as I like them to be, or as long. It doesn't really matter, but I like them to be quite slim. I think it's, I don't know, I think it's nice. But anyways, it has this this well, this is just like a vintage linen, and I just ripped a piece to make this closure. So it's very simple, but I don't believe, like, I thought I wanted to like sew things on, but then I decided that the cover was already kind of, I mean, there were things going on, so I didn't want to overdo it. But I just attached two tags, and this one is a Denison tag. This is just like you know, a price tag, and I added some stickers. First, I thought I would like write handmade by, but I don't know. I'm afraid to mess it up, like with my awful writing. So I just leave it like this for now. We'll see later. But I'm just going to remove that. Well, I could just take that off. But yeah. So, oh, the spine, I didn't measure it. It's quite thick. I believe it is, well, it is more than 6 centimeters, but I don't remember. I think I measured that in inches, like I made, like I converted, and it was like, oh, now I have it out, maybe 3. I'm not sure, but it's 6 centimeters for sure. And it is an old book cover that I repurposed, and the cover was not pretty. It's not one of the antique books that I bought. I don't know if you follow me once again on Instagram, but I showed some French antique books that I bought, and it's not one of them. And I created the spine and just attached it with the two, the two covers. So here's just like a collage I made with some fabric. This is actually upholstery fabric, and this is like vintage linen, and some sari, some pieces of sorry, my voice is a little bit off today. I don't know. I'm sorry about that. But this is just like a piece of the gnomes book. It's just like a part where I liked the font, so I decided to put it on here to add some interest. So yeah, that's the cover. It's quite simple, but I like it with the closure. Yeah, and the side looks like that, and there are some twine and some vintage linens and laces, and yeah, you'll see. So when you open this up, it goes like this, and it's huge. So I did stitch the fabric, the linen here. I did stitch it onto the spine, and because I wanted it to be sturdy, and not sturdy, like I wanted it to be not to move. And yeah, this is just a pocket I made, and this I made following Lisa's tutorial, and I will put her channel down below. And so I made this pocket with some book pages, and I just made some small collage here. And here's just like calling card, a French calling card, and it has some wears. Obviously it's pretty old, but I thought I would include that because the font is gorgeous. This is just like a postcard. I like the colors. This one I got from Melanie from Handmade of Stardust. So I put that in here, and you can, of course, you can change the things. So I wanted to be like I wanted this book to be. Yeah, I forgot to mention that this book has a theme, and it's sort of like I think I'm going to call it like The Secret Garden or something like that because it is full of ephemera, full of little of many different things, and it has a gardening kind of theme to it, along with eclectic. It's just what I do the most. I cannot stick to one specific theme all along. That's not possible for me. And so, yeah, you'll see a lot of gardening ephemera, but a lot of colors and other types of pages and ephemera. So here I also included some pieces that I got in Happy Mails and orders that I did. So this one, for example, this is like this is a bag, obviously, and this came from an order that I made from Lara, and she is on Instagram. I love her shop, and I will put the shop down below as well. But I like that she stamped the bag, and she put some washi tape, and I didn't want to waste that, so I included that here. And I just put this kind of weirdly shaped clip to hold this. So here is just like some book page, and I just folded the book page because they were next to each other, so I could do that. Like, for example, this explanation is sorry, fits this picture. So this is just a little something I stitched around and put some washi and a little lace tab. And this is like a journaling card. It's just like this beautiful floral paper. So that goes in here. It's going to be super long. I'm so sorry about that. I truly hope you will enjoy the video anyways. So that's that. Here we have big pockets, and oh, am I in frame? Yeah. Here's a big pocket. So this is like it's just like scrapbooking paper, and I glued a doily here and added this pocket. And here's the belly band with some vintage tickets, and I just added this beautiful picture. There's the back as well, which is nice, but was mostly for that one, and it fits perfectly the pocket. And here, let me grab something. Here is just like a belly band, as I said, and yeah, and you could tuck something here if you'd like to. So here is some ledger paper, and just added some fabric here, and vellum paper from Tim Holtz. Here you have this is a picture of a boy and his dog in a garden, and here I just sewn like a piece of a book page, and I so you can have like a secret space to collage and journal. And here's just like I stapled this little card and tucked this these petals of, oh, I don't know the name in English. I think it starts with like I don't know. I can't, so I'm sorry, but maybe you know what it is. And these are real. And I just put them in this plastic acetate, I believe, and just tuck this in here. And the picture holds kind of everything. Here, this is like a French vintage receipt, and this is a handmade tag. So I backed it with this green paper, but this is a book illustration. I stamped a little bit. I had fun with my new stamp that I recently received. So yeah, I just stamped a lot of stuff. And it has this ribbon tickets, and yeah. Here's a book page from a gardening book. I just made some collage here with some vintage ephemera, and this is I saw it in the recent botanical themed journal that Cassie made. She did do these kind of holes on the side of the pages and added some twine. This is a pocket that I made with a vintage envelope that I bought from Gabriella. And there's just, I tucked some vintage ephemera. And just like part of a book, like a gardening book illustration that I backed with white textured paper. And you can journal, or you can journal on the back or make it as a tag. I just thought the colors were kind of nice together. And this is, there are a lot of paper clips with some ribbons and lace and seam binding. So this is seam binding, and it's just a small journaling card here. I think I'm gonna try to be a little faster because I don't know what's going on, but I'm very slow. Here's just a tuck, and this is part of a zoo booklet, a zoo that is located in France, and yeah, I just added this page, and this is a handmade tag, so there is it's just scrapbooking paper, some ribbon, and vintage ephemera. This I thought was very interesting. It kind of adds some interest to the book because there's this tactile, like aspect as well. This is a vintage receipt, but there's it's not a receipt, sorry, it's a sample of some fabric, or I don't know if it's for carpets or for clothing, I'm not sure, but I thought it was interesting to add this. I like the soft colors as well. Here, just added some tape, this is actually antique. It's very pretty, I love that one, very pretty lace with these flower detail. Just some collage here, and this is like a music sheet. The middle of the first signature, this is just a tuck spot. I added a scrap of the Gnomes book. And this I got in a Happy Mail, again, well, not in a Happy Mail, in an order, well, Happy Mail too, but I believe she added some extra goodies inside, and I loved the little bag, and I just added, I believe I added some botanical stamps in it, yeah. So, yeah, botanical, you can see mushrooms, flowers, and butterfly. Yep. So that goes in here. So this is the other side of this carpet thing. Here, there's a book page. I just glued a stripe of blank space so you can write, and this is like a playing card that is a tuck spot, and I added this glassine back, and inside of it, if I can remove that properly, I added a chromos card. I don't know if you say that in English, but it's like collector, I don't know, card. It's mostly pictures, and yeah. Anyways, you got one in that journal. So I put it in the glassine bag. Some ribbon. Here's like a tuck spot with this library card. I just added some washi, a little bit of twine, and so you get a French book page with this nice illustration, some handmade tag with some collage, and a tag made out of scrapbooking paper. It's pretty paper. Here I just added some sort of wrapping paper. I just glued it to add some texture. This is the back of a receipt. I added some vintage tickets. This is also antique lace, and there's this beautiful rose, this ledger paper, and here I added a pocket, so I just stitched some vintage lace with some fabric, and I added this ball pin with this little card that says walk. And yeah, just some lace. Here you have some goodies, and here is another another page of this booklet, the zoo booklet, and I like the illustration. Then there is this music page, book page, and I also tucked this beautiful playing card with the strawberries. So here is another pocket. So here's just like a tuck spot with a journaling card, and I just made this very simple sort of journaling card, and this is just a cutout from a botanical book, and I added some lace scraps. And here's the other side of the other part of the bag, and I just added some, I'm gonna add a few more labels that I stamped, so you can use them throughout the journal. So here's the second signature, sorry, and I don't know if I said that, but there are 4. So this is just a gnome's book page, and I made it like I folded it to make it as a pocket, and I just stamped some book page, and here's a small journaling card. Then here you have on the other side, it's just some journaling space, and I made a small collage up there, and I added this beautiful book page. I love the colors. Then there is this flip with the same fabric as the cover. Another ledger paper. This is avocado dyed paper. I just added some lace and fabric trim. And here I clipped, so there's a vintage postcard and a vintage photograph. She's in, I don't know, she's in the nature, in the mountains, and here's just a book page, and you can use, you know, both sides, and I just folded it as an envelope. So that goes in here, and there's a tuck here. There's like a tuck spot. And here you have an envelope that I stitched on this vellum paper. So here just to have you know, like journaling space, and here's a pocket I made with some scrapbooking paper, and I just added this illustration from a French book, and this was part of a box, but I thought it was interesting because it has this well, first of all, it's gold and it's pretty thick, and it has these embossed sort of like, well, I don't know how you call that, but you know, I thought it was pretty, and I just added this price ticket so to make a tag. So here you can actually use it as a tuck spot if you want it. And this is coffee dyed paper on, it was originally some sort of green paper, and I just made collages and stamped a bird here. Collage, scrapbooking paper, and just a tab here. Here is the same type of tag I made, you know, with the flower image and then the description with a bit of lace here. And this, I got the idea from Amity Bloom, and she, I don't know, in one of her older videos, she showed some journals in which she added some tuck spots that were like book page on which she collaged some pattern paper, and I thought it gave, I don't know, it was interesting. And here, so I don't know if you can see on the back, but there are some flowers. This is a part of a gardening book page, and so I just I just glued some pattern paper and sewed it to make it as a tag. There's a belly band here with some just an envelope, a French vintage envelope. And this is funny because it's actually like a copy of a receipt, like a vintage French receipt. And this I got, like, I bought a huge pack of receipt, and I got these copies. I got a few of them inside the pack that I bought. So, I mean, that's all right. I just use it for my journals as well. So it's okay. And I just used one in here. There's a tab here, journaling space, middle of the signature. This one actually has, it's not just a copy paper. It has, it's a vintage, how do you say that? Like, I have the word in French, but not in English. But letterhead, that's what I meant. And this actually belonged to my family, so it's a bit special to me. And I have tons of this. So here's just a collage with a tuck spot. I might add a little tag in here. Yeah, we'll see. Here is a pocket with some linen, and this bird first, like, it's this first issue stamp envelope. I don't know how you call that exactly, and it's just some French ephemera, and I added some sort of ruffle, and yeah. Here's there's a flap with this pretty lace. It's not lace, it's some sort of, I don't know if it was a part of a curtain or like a tablecloth, but I got a whole piece from Melanie. I bought from her shop, so I thought this part was cute with a little house, bird house. This is a bit special because, well, this was in envelope. This is a letter, vintage letter, and inside this letter there was this piece of flower, and I wanted to keep it and put it, like, to keep it with the letter that went with it. So I just used a vellum pocket that I got, like, that went with some goodies I purchased, and I liked the collage, so I just tucked the small flowers inside and washi taped it on the letter because it goes together but of course you can move it around, and you know, but so that acts as a flip. And here there's some journaling cards. This is from Prima, and this is handmade, very simple, like flower illustration. And I love this very like very vibrant color, picking out the journal. I don't know, I just love this touch. But this is a tab, obviously, and you can write whatever you want. This is just a ribbon that I attached on the page, and I just reinforced the page by putting some scrapbooking pieces, a piece on this side, and then some hole reinforcers. Here there's a pocket with this beautiful scrapbooking paper, and I made this tag that I love. It's a collage tag, and I just added some linen and a little tag, price tag. So there's some bird cutouts and some avocado dyed paper scraps. So this is the last page of the second signature, and here's just a tag made out of scrapbooking paper. And this is actually something I did quite some time ago. It was when I tried to make my own paper, and I do have some scraps left, so I just embossed it as Heather from Rose Hill Paper Cottage, if I'm not mistaken, does as well. Then third signature, and starting off with this is like handkerchief pockets. It has some green trims, and I just stitched some ribbon on the top and tucked a little booklet of scraps. So this is actually straw paper. I don't know if you heard about that. I got it when I went to Italy once, and I just, yeah, there's a belly band here, belly band, just a small price tag, and it's just a very rustic scrap booklet with various textures and images. So you can pull some pieces out, or you can use it as a journal. It's really up to the recipient, but that goes in there. Here there's a book page, and this is like how do you say that, index, I believe it's called. And there were these beautiful like letters with illustration, and I thought it was nice to cut it out and play around with it throughout the journal. And there's also this this idea comes from Cassie from Dusty Roses, and she makes these medley tags, and I like the idea. And this tag actually comes from, she is sharing on her Patreon, and I believe everybody can access those printables, and so I included that one. This is just some scrapbooking paper and some tag. This is also from a gardening book, and this is actually like, I believe it's some sort of calendar. Yeah, for each species of flowers and plants. There's just like a small linen tab here. This is some printable that I had left, and I wanted to include that in here. It's also coffee stained. So here on the next page, I added this huge playing card. So I didn't embellish it, but you can, the recipient can totally do that. I just thought it was a nice addition to the journal. So here's this ribbon, and on the other side there's a pocket. And I did the same thing as, ooh, I'm not in frame. I'm sorry. I did the same thing as, you know, beginning of the journal, and here's just a collage, and there's some USA stamps, like botanical stamps, and inside the pocket you'll get a page of the French edition of Edith Holden book, and some vintage photograph as well. That one. There's some lace here and a tuck spot in which I added some additional journaling space, and some book plate that I recently purchased from a shop that I love. I don't remember if I mentioned it at the beginning of the flip through at some point, but I will put the Instagram shop down below. It's Lara's shop, and I love it. I always order something from her. So that one goes in here. I love the colors of this page. And on the back, I backed this book page with some like writing page, and there's a pocket here, some small collage, and just a few pages like journaling space. Here you have this. It was a magazine page, but you can journal, you can decoupage, you can, yeah, do plenty of stuff. And same here. I just thought that was a nice illustration, a nice font, and it actually sorry, says the gems of your garden. So you could also like cut this out and maybe glue it down somewhere in the journal. This is an old French book page, and I just added this tab. It's the same lace that I showed you, that I previously showed you, that one. So here's just some like journaling space, and this is like well, I made it as a journaling card, but it's initially a book page from a very small book, obviously, of Impressionism artwork, French Impressionism artwork. So this one is from Paul Gauguin. And I thought it looked like a garden with some ladies and just some random collage. This is actually a true vintage perfume label, French label. This is a handmade tag, and it's just collage with some stamp and book illustration with a bit of lace trim up there. Book page, vintage linen. This was a envelope that I got from, well, that had an order that I placed on eBay, and I thought the envelope was very interesting, and I wanted to include it. I wanted to include this in one of my journals, like my current project, and I just decided to put it in here. I know it's not particularly garden themed, but as I said, this book is also kind of eclectic, as I cannot stick to one single theme throughout. But I thought it was interesting. It gives some interest, really, in the book. And I didn't add anything really. It came like this. I just there was a hole on the back, so I just backed it with some vintage linen. So this is the middle of the third signature, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Here's a large pocket, and this was made with some antique French. It's not book. It's. I will need to. I'll need to look that up because I'm going to sell some pages in my next sale, which will be on Friday. But let me show you where it comes from. Yeah, so it's like some old documents, but I know the name obviously in French, but I'm not sure in English how you call that. But I'll check that and put some pages and even a whole like document like this, whole documents like this. I will put them in my shop on Friday. So if you're interested, then you can check my shop. I'll put the link down below as well. Oh, and inside the pocket I just included this vintage postcard. So yeah, it's from La Côte d'Azur. It's like, yeah, it's just like a picture of like an old street in an old village in southern France. Drilling space. Here's a pocket, and I just added this trim, this rose trim, and this is actually part of a journaling kit that Alessandra is selling in Etsy, and she kindly gifted me because I purchased one some time ago, and she kindly gifted me another one, and this was part of it. So it's a journaling card, and I just backed it and added some trim here. I'll put her Etsy link down below. I hope I will remember all the things I said. I will link down below. If not, you can just let me know and I will add it, of course. Some lace here. There's a pocket with some journaling cards and tag. Very simple. You can decorate it as you wish. I just wanted to play with the scraps, but still let you have freedom to make it your own. Sorry, it cut again. I was showing you the next page. It's just an acetate pocket, so the back is scrapbooking paper, and I just added some. This is a vintage playing card, and this is a little journaling card. So here I backed this blue cardstock with this beautiful illustration, botanical illustration. Here's some sari trim. This is the other side of this printable that I had left and that I printed on coffee stained or tea stained, I don't remember, paper. There's actually a bird here. And this is the last signature, and starting with this Tim Holtz paper, and as it was already like collaged, and I just didn't add anything to that. Here I just added this handmade journaling card or tag, I'm not sure how you call that. It's just a collaged one, and I added this label that I recently purchased and received from Crafty Lisa's Vintage, I believe. She has Instagram shop. So it's just a tab, a fabric tab, and here in the pockets you got an American ephemera, I believe. Yeah, and some Tim Holtz photo booth I just added this little ribbon down, as you can probably see. Yeah, just to add some interest. And oh my god, okay. And there's a small journaling card here. This is a German receipt, also something I purchased from an Instagram shop recently, and I love the pink color. Here, journaling space, as there are holes up there. I just added some organza, I believe it's called organza ribbon, and a sticker here. Here on this page I added this clear glassine pocket, in which there's this, this was part of some sort of, how do you call that, like booklet, and there was this botanical image, so I just removed that image and just made it as a scrap booklet? No, not booklet, but you know. So there's some botanical book page scraps you can play around with. I'm actually gonna put this that way. And some old calendar page, again, you can collage with. And here's another midlay tag, as Cassie called it, and there's also one of her like wallpaper tag. This is just a tag made out of illustration, and this small price tag as well. So that goes in here. Oh, I love this trim. It's from a linen, and it's a butterfly. I don't know if you can see that well, but it's very pretty. And inside I just added this book page from Rose gardening book. So yeah, this is some interesting scrapbooking paper. It's actually like this, I don't know if you say foil when it's not gold, I'm not sure, but it's like shining blue. And there's this lace paper clip, and here there's another, you know, those small tags I made and I showed you at the beginning, with the explanation of the, like, how to take care of the plant behind. So this is another one, and that was a bigger illustration and bigger description on the back, but same here, and I just added a tab up there. French receipt. This is actually kind of embossed. You can feel it's raised. And this is sari trim, book illustration, obviously. So this is a pocket, but this comes originally from not a true vintage Victorian photo album, but like a reproduction, and I just added this tag that I made. So this is just a book page scrap, and I put a pattern paper on top, but I believe I have another one that I showed you, but I'm not sure now. But anyways, that goes in here. That was another envelope that I received when I ordered something. Well, actually, this came with the envelope, or the envelope came with that German receipt, and I just wanted to keep it. And as the person made this beautiful collages, botanical collages, I thought it was perfect for this book. So I turned it into pages, but it's also like big pockets, so you can tuck things inside. I didn't want to put anything because it's already kind of huge, but you can totally do that yourself. And yeah, this is another tab. made out of antique lace, this rose lace that I showed you earlier. And here it's just a pocket with some calendar again, calendar page. You can, I think it's nice for collaging. And this is a very simple tag. Again, I wanted to leave the recipient some freedom to decorate some things I added in the journal. So that's just scrapbooking paper and a bit of collage and a tab here, a lace tab. This is some vintage linen here, some seam binding paper clip. And this is a journaling card that I made. So it's just this beautiful illustration of some roses, and I just added this kind of like weirdly folded ruffle and this beautiful vintage lace. I thought it looked like a crown or something. I thought it was pretty. And this is in a vintage, if not antique. I believe it's actually antique postcard, like French postcard. It's a bit dirty, but I absolutely love them. It's not dirty. It's like vintage, in vintage condition, but it still looks amazing. I love the colors. Very soft and pastel. This I just added some. Can you see that? I just added some tape to make it as some tuck spot. Here another tab of this pretty antique lace, and inside I added this. It's actually a map of a zoo that is near Paris, or in Paris actually. Yeah, it's considered to be in Paris, so I thought it was interesting to add in this journal. Again, you can collage, play with it, make tags or journaling cards. It's really up to you. And there's this beautiful back of the book page and the Tim Holtz paper. And that's the end. So that's a quite chunky book, as you can see. I added a lot of ephemera for the recipient to play around with, and that was I really wanted to create something a bit different that I normally do. I've been doing some like round spined junk journals, but this is really like this was kind of easier to make, as it's a flat spine. And yeah, it was just I just had a blast making that, and I love when it's chunky and slim. I just love it. So I really hope this journal will find a new home, and that the recipient will will love it as much as I loved making it. And I will put the details of my Instagram shop down below, along with all the people that I mentioned, I hope, hopefully. And I wish you have a nice week, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.